Hi everyone, my name is Justin and I'm going to do a quick nutrition game talking about the fun functions of the liver and what we can do to help keep our livers healthy. So we have all these cool models up here to play with, and you get a snack prize if you participate. Would anyone like to play?
I would.
Hi, what's your name?
Yessie.
Yessie. Well, we're going to learn a little bit about the liver today. Are you excited?
Yes, very.
So, what do you know about the liver in general?
I know that it has something to do with blood and that it's very important to keep it healthy. But I'm not really sure how.
Okay, so we can learn about that a little bit more, but you're exactly right. Our liver processes blood, and actually when we digest and break down and absorb food, that's the first thing our blood goes to is the liver, because the liver will kind of filter out, break down toxins and process nutrients in our body and send it to where our body needs. So it's really this important piece of machinery that has over like 500 functions in our body. So it'll take that blood and do what needs to be done with it essentially. So the three main functions, I'll just tell them to you right now. They process those nutrients and toxins, like I said. Nutrients could be vitamins, toxins could be like alcohol or drugs. It produces bile, and bile helps us digest and absorb fat and the nutrients that are absorbed in fat. So it's very important. People think of fat as bad, but that's not the case. And it also stores energy in a form of carbohydrate. So carbs that you eat, once those get drained from your body and you have low blood sugar, your liver will actually release that carb into your body and increase your blood sugar so you don't pass out. So very important for your body. What do you think happens if you don't take care of the liver?
You pass out.
Maybe not pass out right away, but over time, our liver can take only so much abuse. It actually does regenerate pretty well, but if we continually abuse it with drugs or alcohol or sugar, even over time sugar can help fat build up in our livers, then it can cause this fat buildup and eventually inflammation and even scarring in our liver. And it might even get to the point where it might not be able to regenerate. So it's always important to take care of it. So to understand how the liver works, we're going to play this cool game using this Plinko board. So this is going to show how our liver processes different nutrients. So you have a few options here what you want to do first. Would you like to see how the liver processes water, alcohol, or sugar?
Water.
Water. So we're gonna go ahead and go set this up. Okay, so Yessie helped me set up some water at the top of our board. So we're gonna drop water through and see how it looks.
Wow.
What do you think of that, Yessie? Do you think it went through slow, fast?
Very fast and smoothly.
It was pretty quick. So water, when it goes through our liver, essentially helps us flush our liver and keep it healthy. There's nothing bad about water. It keeps us hydrated. So let's compare that to, what did we say, sugar?
Sugar? Yeah.
Sugar. Awesome.
Wow.
Wow. What do you think about that compared to water?
A lot more slower.
It's a lot slower. And that's because it takes a lot more energy. Well, not more energy, but it takes more effort for our liver to process sugar. So in small amounts, our liver can process it just fine. But in large amounts, it starts to become more difficult. So that's where we're going to run into an issue. So let's use an example where we're taking in both a lot of sugar and alcohol and see how that goes. Cool. All right, so now we have our body loaded up with sugar and alcohol, and we'll see how our liver processes that. Let's go. Oh!
Yikes.
What do you think about that?
Well, it kind of got all clumpy and even slower than when it was just one.
Right. Yeah, your liver can get overwhelmed when you have too much sugar or alcohol or both. Let's say you had too much Fireball one night. So if you have too much of that, it can actually start to build up fat in your liver because your body has nowhere else to put that. It will actually build up fat in your liver, And over time, that can cause inflammation and really bad diseases in your liver, like fatty liver disease, hepatitis, that sort of thing. So that's really important to not take in large amounts. It's okay to take in moderate amounts of alcohol and sugar, but this stuff can really cause some issues. And you see it even got stuck there. It kind of represents how fat gets stuck in our liver and eventually. So in sum, the liver helps us store energy as carbohydrate. It produces bile, which helps us digest fat, and it processes nutrients and waste. So, Yessie, what did you learn about eating too much sugar or alcohol?
Well, it just builds up in your liver and it'll slow the process of it just flowing nice and neatly, just like with water.
Exactly. So over time, it'll cause the inflammation and slow the impair our liver function. So it's always helpful to limit the amount of sugar that we intake, like 9 teaspoons for men or 6 teaspoons for women. 9 teaspoons is about an equivalent of what you see in a soda. So we want to shoot for less than that. And there's sugar in everything. So you gotta watch out. You want to limit too high of fatty foods like saturated or trans fat. And we also want to drink plenty of water because that helps our liver. What else do you think might help our liver?
Probably moderate our foods. Just moderate, be conscious about the sugar intake, alcohol intake as well. And if you were to have that kind of intake, just moderate everything and be conscious about what you're doing.
Exactly. Moderate everything. You know what also helps is exercise. So it can help us burn off those extra sugars or calories and even boost our liver function. But as you said, trying to moderate everything, not get too much of sugar, alcohol, eating right in general, just can help our bodies be healthy. So we've gone over drinking too much alcohol. That can cause what's called hepatitis and inflamed liver and destroy our liver cells over time. So that's something you want to avoid. So I talked briefly about our liver raising our blood sugar. So when we're low on energy, it'll actually release some of that sugar back into our blood. But this can be problematic for someone who's diabetic, let's say, because their cells don't allow that sugar to go into their bodies very easily. So it can actually spike their blood sugar, which can cause other problems. So if you're diabetic and you're worried about how much carbs or sugar I should have, between 45 to 60 grams is appropriate for men for each meal, and about 30 to 45 grams for women.